Look at this huge fucking sell off. I love AU. AU is so solid. It's so reliable. Like it can be slow sometimes, but the thing is like AU doesn't retest a whole lot like UJ. You know, once you get a solid resistance or support on a level, it'll carry on. It'll go to the other side of the range. It'll create that other leg, you know, and it'll travel it. There's not a lot of retracements, I guess is what I'm trying to say, on AU, but it does travel kind of slow. Definitely, you know, compared to something like GU. But at least for the month of January, I have been making those psychological errors, those mistakes. So, you know, this video is an attempt to go over that, specifically tailored to AU again. So there, right after that sell-off, we got a huge retracement, a huge buy up. I was like, jeez, damn, can't see the pips. 7.5 to 7.59. That's like 100 pips, guys. So, damn. And I'm just over here drawing my little arrows. Again, this is like December 21st. So this is 2020, ending of 2020. Still prone to making psychological errors. You know, a lot of mistakes, a lot of just messing around with orders when not supposed to, don't need to, adding on unnecessarily to an order. You know, just that sense of patience is not developed to where it'll allow you to just hold, or, you know, be more confident in your orders and drawdown, things like that. It's set up to where, you know, anytime you're looking at the market, you're gonna think, you know, maybe it's gonna buy up, maybe it's gonna sell, just because of how it's looking in that given moment that you've decided to look at the market. And that's how most traders, especially if you're just starting, like, that's how you're gonna think. But what's more important, and what you would want to develop the habit of, is when you decide to look at the market, you want to figure out where you are in structure, right? So even after that big buy up there, I'm still thinking it's gonna sell off AU. So because of the rejection we're getting, that's why I went ahead and took that or, you know, predicted that sell, because all I'm seeing there is AU breaking to the downside and then coming back up to retest before it continues further to the downside. Now, you can have the direction correct of a market. You can guess where it's going to go perfectly fine. If you're not set up psychologically, though, to hold the order, to keep yourself in the market, to position yourself to be profitable and be profitable on a consistent basis, that's, you're just more prone to making mistakes when you don't do that. And a lot of that has to do with your entry into where the market is. So these red circles, like the bigger circles, are on bigger time frames. That's just trying to point out stronger levels of support and resistance. The smaller circle is, you know, these circles, again, they're just areas where you need to pay the most attention to and look for those engulfing candles. So you don't always have to draw that circle. It's just at least in the beginning, because if you're just coming into the game, you're thinking like, how are you, you know, how are you going to be able to is it? Call the signs, I guess, for a sell, call the signs for a buy, or recognize is a better word. How are you gonna be able to recognize when to do what if it looks like chicken shit? Not scratch, chicken scratch. If it just looks like chicken scratch, then and you don't know how to read the language, then you know you're gonna forever fail in this, and that's what we don't want. Because sometimes you will get into winning trades. You'll think you're hot shit. You can trade. You know enough about this game to make the money. You don't need to spend as much time. You can make your shortcuts, and the list goes on with that. Like, there's so much shit you'll tell yourself when you're in winners. You'll gas yourself up. Don't do it. This game is mostly, it's to where you can get to a point where you're able to take a trade. You'll execute exactly what you see and what you're used to seeing, and it won't matter to you after you execute it. You'll just be kind of, all right, I got my entry, I got my good fucking entry, there's nothing else to do, it's just to wait. Because from my entry, and this is if you're getting into a retest entry, right? So where price levels where the market is coming back to test, and it continues getting rejected, those levels are where you want to enter. So like if you're, what is it? If you're getting in on those levels, there's no guarantee that the market is just gonna start selling off or buying up after you placed your trade. So your job is to then wait. And the reason you would want the good entry is because while you're waiting, the market is going to fluctuate. It's going to go up and down. While you're waiting, you won't experience much drawdown. And that's because of your sniper entry, your really good entry. I don't like this particular trade. This is on the 30th, right? And I just flat out got that sell wrong. We were in a third test of that zone, and I was thinking it's gonna sell off. It's a decent trade. It's a valid trade, but we didn't get that. It bought up. Now it's at 0.765 from here. There's really no trade. Like, I would have to take that L. I would have to take that loss and wait for more structure to form, right? Above this zone to tell me where it may be going from here. So, excuse me. I'm MetaTrader. This is a demo. Yeah. It's like 10:12 a.m. Wednesday, December 30th. Got stopped out again. I mean, I'm going against, like, you're seeing what's happening when I'm going against a clear buyer's market, right? I'm trying to call when the top, call the top. I think that's not a phrase goes, I don't. But yeah, I'm trying to say when the market is gonna enter its downtrend, clearly going against the buy-ups, the bullish activity. All that's telling you is there's more buyers in the market than sellers. This is a $5 trillion industry. Like, you gotta go with the winning side. You gotta go with the side that has more money to play with. And that's what you're looking at. It's not necessarily people, because there's like 90% of people that cannot move the market. It's just like whales. It's people with hundreds of millions, billions, the banks. Those are the ones that push this shit up and down. So, like, you as a trader, you don't even need a whole lot. Like, what job and this is where the cue, like, what job is really paying you anything above like 15, 14, 15, $16? You know, like, you gotta start small, and that's part of the reason, like, I be going through these psychological um, these hijackings is coming from just a poor place, a poor background. You know, you're trying to make the money as quick as possible. It's a bitch, like, especially in today's age. Like, you will go on social media and shit and see a whole bunch of people where it looks like, you know, they're doing great, they're doing just fine. I mean, the reason I even bring that up, I guess, is like when you're going through this journey, these trials, it doesn't do you any good to compare yourself to the other person, and you know where they found their success, or when they found their successes. You never know. It's like it's what you're setting up right here in this industry also is just to completely have uh, the way you trade accommodate for your lifestyle. Like, you have to fine tune it, and that's why it can take so long, because the markets themselves move slow as shit. For the most part, you know, like, it can take a long time, but you really just have to condition yourself and fine tune your strategy because this is a long term thing. Like, you're gonna want to be doing the same thing for years to come. You don't want to keep switching up your strategy, you know? Like, it's basically like, here, you know, I have a potential buyout. Like, that other circle on the left, that was from a line I had drawn that it broke, and I think I deleted that line. So I'm gonna try to be more consistent in the next video with my analysis to keep it on there. But now, you know, as far as this AU chart goes, we're starting to see some seller activity, or more seller activity. I'm just trying to find a slope here, which I don't think there really was much. Like, if I go down to 15 minutes, but yeah, like, this is what you should be trying to do. You should be trying to find the message that the market is trying to give you. The message is the patterns, the behavior in zones, retracements. You know, if you're using Fibonacci, these are different tells. Like, there's different signs the market tries to give. So that, coupled with like your knowledge of there usually being retests, 2 to 3, 4 retests maybe. There needs to be, you know, a session or near a session to actually get the push, actually get the move. Otherwise, it's just going to be dicking around, or it won't actually go in that direction. These are some of the things you'd want to be aware of, and you're gonna, like, if you're not documenting every trade, if you're not writing down reasons for taking trades, writing down profit and loss, you know, like, or not profit and loss, but writing down what you can do to improve it. Or you don't even need to do that. You really just need to write down the wrong shit you're doing, or the things you're doing and you're losing trades, right? So, like, what does it look like as far as when you lose a trade? What are the circumstances? Like, are you trading your strategy that, you know, you're supposed to stick to or stick with, or are you trading structure? And even if you are, you know, it's like, are you managing your risk properly to where your heart isn't like you're not nervous in your orders, your heart isn't beating fast, you're calm, you're fine with losing the order. um, are you operating excuse me, or are you trading in that manner? And the easiest way to put it would be like, are you trading in a way that you can take 10 losses in a row, um, 20 losses in a row even? It's like if you're risking 5%, I think. Are you putting everything into one trade? Like, you definitely don't want to do that. There's just so much you want to be aware of at the same time. And that just comes with time being in the market, comes with experience. Just figuring out how you operate, what your levels of greed are, your levels of skill, your appetite for loss, appetite for pain of loss, risk management. There's so much. But once, oh man, once you start getting used to it, start becoming familiar with it, just the realm of it can be fun in the way that it's a skill that you have learned, and now you can implement it and make money, directly from it, right? Like this here, this is a prime example of a break, and this is on where's my circle? It's the next day. It's a prime example of a fake out. I lied. So now it's the next day, January 8th, and we might be getting sell-offs. I think, like, and part of the mistakes is, like, I should have either entered, at that price, 0.777, or wait for an actual break to occur. There's no breaks. There's no closing and staying below the price level, or the slope. So there's no actual confirmation to enter that trade, that sell, and that's part of the reason I'd be getting stopped out. Is because I don't wait for the closes of those candles. That's a big part of it. Like, while you're trading, like, if you're fast paced, I don't know, I feel like I have ADHD sometimes, probably why I smoke so much, but this is among other reasons. But, like, if you are fast paced, you're not patient, you are more on the fuck, immediate what's the word, gratification. That's not gonna work in this game. It never will, unless you're trading a whole lot of money that you just need a few pips, like 4 or 5 pips. Even then, you're taking on hella risk, because you usually start in negative due to the spread of a pair. Well, yeah, guys, I hope this video provided a little bit of insight, at least on just a general trading game. Thank you.